Okay, so are we good? I'll start my stopwatch. Are we good to start?
We are good to start.
Okay. Hi, all. The topic of my talk today is what we see on the screen. It's a technical topic, but I'll try to narrate it in the form of a story. And the topic is Beyond Fluency, Ontology-Driven AI for Trusted Enterprise Decisions. Now, I'll start with an interesting trivia that emerged in the last 24 hours. If you have been following the social media news as far as the technology is concerned, Curative, a US-based health insurance and healthcare services company, which is headquartered in Austin, Texas, they've announced that they've completely decommissioned their entire Salesforce footprint, which was costing them $600,000 per year. And Salesforce has been replaced by an in-house CRM solution that they built in 2 months with ontology as the center of their GenAI architecture. And what you see on the right hand side of the screen is a knowledge graph, and that knowledge graph has got dots and lines showing how a business actually thinks. And in this case, the nodes are the policies, right? The nodes are the patients, the policies, right? And the claims, the providers, and the rules, and connecting them. Yeah, we'll look at what ontology is in a little more detail, but the profound impact of what I'm going to talk is probably already clear to you all. Now, we have about 6 people here. I would like to see a quick show of hands. How many of you have used ChatGPT, Copilot, Claude in the last 28 to 40, 24 to 48 hours? Okay. And now keep your hand up if you have used that output for a critical business decision. Have you used that output for a critical business decision? Okay. Oh, okay, that's good. But I did see some hands going down, including mine. Okay. Now, to illustrate this, there's an incident which happened a few months back, and this was pretty prevalent in the Western media, where a woman in Canada booked a flight after a death in her family. And Air Canada's own chatbot said she could claim a bereavement discount. Okay. And she had to apply for the discount within 1 week or so. She did exactly that, but in reality, that policy didn't exist. The chatbot made it up. So Air Canada even tried arguing in front of a tribunal that the chatbot was somehow a separate entity and they were not responsible for it. But the tribunal didn't buy it, and Air Canada paid hefty fine for it. So the bottom line is your AI's mistakes are still your mistakes. Okay. And that's the whole idea behind what we see on this title, which is Beyond Fluency. The AI we are all using right now is extraordinarily fluent. It sounds smart, but fluency should not be treated as accuracy. And when real decisions are on the line, decisions related to money, health, and compliance, that small gap is not a minor inconvenience, but it's a liability. So next time when your AI gives you a confident answer, think through and then question along the following lines. Can you defend that answer? Can you audit that answer? Would you take a real decision on it? And even if you're slightly unsure, you're exactly where this particular session takes you through. And so with that, let's get into the meat of this session. So this is the agenda. We'll start with what is a trust gap. and which isn't a technology problem. And secondly, we'll look at how today's AI architecture has actually evolved across three stages, and even the best of it still fails short. And then we'll look at the missing layer, which is the ontology layer, the knowledge graph that we saw in the earlier slide, and why is it so key. And finally, we will end with three key takeaways from this presentation. Now, looking at the problem trust gap, right? So that is the tension that we are all living today. Companies have more data than ever and less trust in what their AI tells. We have looked at two previous decisions, the Air Canada incident that I talked about. So you have plugged GenAI into your data. You're getting fast, articulate, confident answers, as we see on the left here. But then confidence doesn't mean correct. The AI is pattern matching, it's predicting the next likely word, not reasoning through your actual business logic. It's fluent, it's referring to internet, but it's not fluent in your domain. And if you ask why did you say that, there is no real answer. There's no audit trail, right? And but what enterprises need, is on right hand side of this particular slide, where verifiable answers, right, with your own rules and a reasoning path that you can show to a regulator without flinching. And that middle box in the golden color is the key. Fluency is not equal to accuracy. Moving on, so if you look at how the evolution of Gen AI has happened over a period of time, there are three stages, and I'll probably use an analogy to explain these three stages. Let's say you are driving in a new city, and stage one is where Gen AI is on its own. And let's say there's a friend who's giving you directions purely from memory, very confidently, even though they have genuinely never been to this city. So, as you can see, you are fluent, blind, and high risk of sending you the wrong way, as in the case of Air Canada, right, that we have seen earlier. Now, stage two is where there is the retrieval, what is technically called as RAG, retrieval augment generation. So basically now AI has a map or a guidebook it can check. So it probably tells you fewer wrong turns, but it still doesn't know your city rules. It still doesn't have the context. Now to explain this, there's an analogy. There's a real world example. There's a city called Durham in North Carolina. And there is a bridge that the locals call as the can opener bridge. Because why is it a can opener? The GPS systems keep confidently routing trucks straight into it, peeling the roofs clean off. Because the GPS is fluent with directions, but is blind to one rule. It doesn't know the dimensions of the truck. And it has happened several hundred times. Now, what we see on the right-hand side is the solution where GenAI plus ontology, this is not just a map, it's someone who's like a local, a licensed resident who knows the roads, the rules, and the shortcuts, and understands your entities and applies your actual business rules and gives you something connected, consistent, and explainable. Now, this isn't, and this is not a technology failure. It's a trust failure, as you can see here at the bottom of the slide. And this trust failure, when it happens in the context of banking, healthcare, legal, defense, causes an innumerable dent, as we have seen in the case of Air Canada, Air Canada's reputation, right? So moving on, so this is we'll probably spend a minute or so on this. So this ontology is the missing layer. And consider ontology, if you focus on the middle part of this particular slide, as the mental map with your best domain expert who carries in his head, but it is now written down, it is structured, and it is something that a system or a computer can actually query. So it defines your entities, it defines your relationships, right? And then it knows your domains. It could either be patients, transactions, or policies. It knows their properties, right? It has relationships. Now, if you look at this architecture, the data flows into the ontology layer, the structured model of your domain. The AI agents operate inside that layer. They retrieve context, understand what you're actually asking, and generate answers which are anchored to your rules and not to the internet's rules. So, what comes out at the end is decisions that you can explain, that you can audit, and that you can plug into your systems. Now, this isn't theory. Now, Palantir used this in UK's national health system, where they have adopted an ontology-first approach for patient care pathways. And this is not a demo. It's a live system with real clinical outcomes. Ontology is the map, GenAI is the engine. Together, they think the way your best expert thinks. Now, closing out, so these are the key takeaways from this short talk. Number one is GenAI alone is not enough, and it is essentially not enough in either banking or healthcare or legal, and anywhere decisions that carry real consequences. So, fluency without grounding is not a small gap, it's a risk multiplier. And number two, ontology backed AI creates output that you can actually act on. As we have seen, they are verifiable, traceable, explainable, auditable, and that's where the real return lives. And three, you can start with one domain at a time, map your entities, define your relationships and rules, and wire the GenAI on top of it and prove the value. And this is what I want to leave you with a thought. The human brain that we see on the right-hand side of this particular slide doesn't choose between memory and creativity. It uses both together constantly. Ontology is the long-term memory. GenAI is the working memory. Your AI stack shouldn't have to choose either. So with that, I come to the closure of my talk. Thank you so much for your attention.
Kalyan, one quick question.
Yeah.
This GenAI plus ontology. So with this, do they take ownership of their output, or it's still that AI can make error? We see the tagline.
No. So yeah. See, at the end of it, you can't blame AI on the decisions, right? So if you say AI has led me to that particular path where the rooftops of all the trucks were getting completely chopped off, right? I mean, are you going to blame that on Google Maps? Google Maps is never going to pay you any sort of penalty for it, right? So at the end of the day, the decisions are yours. I mean, as an entity, as an enterprise, the decisions are yours. But then if those decisions are grounded on the ontology layer, the errors get minimized.
Errors get minimized. Okay.
The errors get minimized. I mean, it knows the context, it knows your domain, it knows your rules, relationships, right? So based on that, when you take the decision, that will be much more grounded.
Okay. Clear. Thank you.
Okay, so 12 minutes, 36 seconds.
Very well timed, very informative. Good job.
Please give me feedback, okay? Please, yeah.
And you can take off the screen now. Stop the
Yeah, sorry.
screen. Yeah.
I'll stop sharing.
Kalyan, review yourself. Review yourself first.
Oh, okay. Review myself first. Okay. Um, yeah, maybe I could have made the storyline a little more, uh, I would say, a little more impactful. What I felt is, I don't know. I was also sort of in two minds when I've used maybe one or two anecdotes more, right? I mean, when I said anecdotes, I talked about curative as one example that just happened today morning. In fact, this was in news today morning, and then I talked about Air Canada. I talked about, I think. Okay, so one more example in New York that happened, right? I mean, I've used, and then I talked about that Durham, the bridge in North Carolina. I probably used like maybe an NHS, five examples that I've used to reinstate why this is important. Maybe I could have reduced one or two examples. I don't know if it landed, on all you when I talked about these examples. Maybe I could have reduced maybe one or two examples is what I felt. That's one. And two, um, I clearly have it written here. I shouldn't say right. I shouldn't say I shouldn't say okay. I've those filler words. I've written it here, so they are in front of me. I've not used them, I suppose. Um, right, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe I probably uh, could have reduced the tech jargon a little more. I don't know. I mean, I've talked about quite a few of the tech jargon, RAG, sort of entities, domains, relationships, etc. Right? And then, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's my feedback on me. Obviously, there are clearly areas for improvement. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I think the examples that you used, I'm not a techie, so I think I understood them well because you have used those examples, in the real time scenarios and all that. So I think it helped me that way. So yeah, you in your talk you come out confidently. So I think you're good. It was fine. Uh, maybe how it impacted and what it would do if you could close the example.
Mm-hmm.
That that would have been good. Like that's what I think elicited that question from Neil. What is it? What? How? And all that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
for me, I could understand this whole thing better because of those examples. Good. Thanks.
Okay. 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 Gitanjali ji,
You're on
you have to
mute.
come out on mute. Come out of mute.
Okay. So very good presentation. This was a very technically rich topic. You presented it in a structured and a business-friendly manner. You gave a very good example of your GPS thing and the flight. Both examples were relevant. Strong subject knowledge. The analogies were good. GenAI is fluent but not grounded. Ontology is a map. GenAI is an engine. You could have closed it stronger by saying, say, the future of enterprise AI isn't about building larger language models. It is about giving AI the right memory, the right context, and the right understanding of your business. That's what ontology brings to Gen AI, like this. So, a strong closing like this leaves a lasting impression.
Yeah, I used the human brain analogy, right? So, okay. Yeah, fine. Understood. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Mm.
Raviji.
And I think like it was overall good, Kalyan. You sounded confident, and even the examples which you were giving, right? So those like I could relate because from the technical field, I could relate it. Maybe that's where Geetanjali ji and Preeti might have got technical jargons being used, right? They might have sounded different for them, right? But technically, it was good overall, like what I see. That's it.
What else?
And
Yes.
you were a little too fast also. I mean, you could have slowed down during technical section, so we could have understood a little more better. I mean, I felt that your architecture explanation moved quite quickly,
Yeah, maybe like
like
you had got
introducing
it only
entities,
from the
relationship,
technical
and all.
side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on purpose because I used that analogy and then I didn't dwell too much into that architecture. So yeah, it becomes a little tricky when you try to explain architecture. I
Yeah.
used an analogy for the previous one, and for this one I used that. Yeah, I relied on the analogies to explain that, but yeah, okay. Yeah, and time was also
Yeah.
factors. Yeah,
And
okay.
good was that you avoided making unrealistic claims. So which was your right approach? Your explanation that organization remains accountable for decisions and the ontology reduces errors by providing business context. So it demonstrated maturity. It was good.
Okay.
Yeah, a few words from my side. First of all, one more perfect presentation. I mean, Kalyan, you are the perfect, and really, I mean, it's only about achieving the next levels for you through this practice. So, very, very nice presentation. You made it very simple, this new terminologies. Okay. Only telling, since you also stressed out on if you gave a little bit too many anecdotes, I also felt so. More than that, what I wanted to say is that you would have little bit dwell into detail of one or two examples. Uh,
Mm,
when you presented the
mm,
last slide, with
mm.
that, of course, you gave the example of that hospital, how they use the ontology for the in UK.
NHS
Yeah,
UK.
but little detailing. I also thought that the last page was little kind of abruptly concluded. Maybe you were under the time pressure, perhaps. So that's
Mm.
that's the only thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good job, Kalyan. It was really a wonderful session. Apart from all those points, what I felt was your presentation had a lot of content. I mean, I was trying to read some of them and was not able to follow some of your conversations. So maybe that's for me as well. So sometimes we have a lot of contents on the slides, right? Maybe that we can minimize at times because people, when you're on a slideshow mode, we try to read things and try to see how it gets connected. Maybe that's one thing. Because yesterday's Ravi's slides were less content.
Minimal content, very minimal
but it
content.
was
Okay. Yeah, that's a skill. That's a
otherwise.
skill. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a feedback that I have, that I have to improve my presentation skills. I've made some progress, but there's still
No, I mean, only
quite
the
a
presentation I'm telling.
no. In
Presentation
general,
skills, but the present.
I have to. Yeah, my presentation skills are not up to the mark. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Okay. What else? Divya, we have about 4 minutes.
Wonderful presentation, first of all. I think touched all the tech points. I was able to understand. I was able to connect with all the points. So good job on that. Very good.
Okay.
I think there was a conclusion slide also, right?
Yeah, there was a conclusion slide, but then I trimmed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I trimmed it. I covered it in the last slide itself, in the last slide itself, because I saw I was already at 12:35 and I was trying to improvise on the fly. And I think that's where maybe I could have reduced the number of anecdotes. But then for this topic to land, if you go via the technical way, it's a little difficult, for it to land. And that's the reason why I have to search for those anecdotes to say that, okay, Gen AI is good, but then if your decisions get wrong, what is at stake here, right? So yeah, those anecdotes probably took some time. Yeah. Okay.
There are just two more points. I mean, for what Rajesh pointed out, that he was trying to read the text, but it's too busy. It's very tight. Each of the slides had content. That's one point. The second point being, yesterday Himaji said, do at least 7 or 8 slides, right? So I
Yeah.
think you could have broken each of those slides into 2, and pick that content and dropped in, say, ChatGPT or Copilot, and asked for a diagrammatic representation. You could have packed the slide with half diagram and half of that content. So it covers both the points of 7 or 8 slides, and Rajesh could
Yeah,
have
I have
read
7
through.
slides, in fact. Yeah, I have 7 slides.
Rajesh could have read through the content
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
A little
Okay.
bit of visual will always be good. Breaks that content of
Yeah.
this. Otherwise, it looks very serious. That's all. Easier said than done.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Any other feedback? Okay. So you have to unmute, Geetanjali ji.
So am I audible? Okay. So I said you still cover only 25% of the screen. Okay. Now you're better, but while you were
No, when I was presenting, I was like this, right? So
Mm.
when I was presenting, I was like this. Now I just went a little back. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, whose turn is tomorrow? Anil. Anil is ready for tomorrow, right?
Hemaji told me that you need not be ready, so I'm relaxed. So
Okay.
she otherwise I told you it will take time. She immediately strike that out, saying that you really don't
Hemaji
need.
is the mantra. Hemaji is the mantra. Huh? She said 8 slides, so there should be 8 only. And it's okay, just be flexible.
Yeah,
And you be
yeah, I will
relaxed. Yeah,
manage. Yeah,
good, good. Be relaxed. I think you'll present better in relaxed mode. So
let's
it's
see.
good. There is
Yeah.
no stress here. Do it. And every week, just improve from the past one. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to share one fun fact about AI. So I have integrated, I mean, our office laptop itself, we have Copilot integrated to Outlook. So I just for fun, I just gave a prompt that please summarize my day. So it looked at email, MS Team chats, Outlook, all meetings. I prepared very detailed, very beautiful summary. I was really happy to see it. Okay, it talked about what all escalation meetings I handle, all recruitment decision, many things. Okay, but it missed out one very big thing because full day I attended one workshop and that meeting invite was right away sitting over there with agenda, and this guy did not consider that at all in the whole day summary. I mean, this kind of blunders it can do. I was really laughing after seeing that because first I was very impressed, first of all. But then later on, I saw where is the workshop related? Nothing. It didn't say a single word about workshop.
So it was just seeing
I
that you
mean,
are
this kind
already
of blunders
working
it is
throughout the
doing.
day parallelly with the workshop.
Yeah. So of course, we have to work. I mean, we have to come out sometime, all these things. But it only focused on what all I did parallelly, but whole day workshop, where is it?
I
I mean,
think it catches your screen. It was catching whatever was going on your screen. Whatever you were documenting, the workshop was something that you were seeing and listening or something, right? It was not on
It's
your laptop.
related to the
it
Outlook.
was in the invite. It was a whole day invite was there.
Yeah,
There was
it
an
was in the invite, but
PDF
you were not
attached
doing
in the
something.
invite. No, there was no interaction to the Outlook for the workshop, nor there
There
was
was
a
no
chat.
interaction. Correct.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it catches
Okay.
only the
That could be.
interaction.
Nice.
Yeah, that could be.
It
Nice.
catches the interaction, whatever is running. Because what I do is I usually, my full day is spanned on ChatGPT or Claude or something. And then when I ask a summary, if at all there is something parallelly being done, which I have not recorded, it won't give me. So that I
Okay.
understand now that the record of things which is not there, something should be there. Then it will give you a good.
Okay. Okay. Understood.
So that's why it didn't catch only. So a lot of things can go miss, which means AI makes a lot of mistakes. So we have to agree to that. Yeah.
So there
All
was
right.
this famous incident which happened.
Mhm.
So in this Iran war,
Mhm.
I think all of you probably
That one.
re-
The planes were sketched on the floor, right? And they bombarded
they
the.
bombed they bombed
Yeah,
those sketches. They
correct.
bombed the sketch, right? So
It was, oh my goodness, so much in the news. Mm.
uh, so look at it, right? So it
How
missed
much
it. It
AI has
completely
done?
missed it. And it
Complete.
was such an embarrassment. It was such an embarrassment that the memes that those Iran people put out on US were very embarrassing,
So, which means
right?
AI can do much better things.
Yeah. So do you all know what that incident is, Ravi, Rajesh? Right? You know that incident, right? Yeah.
Rajesh, why are you not on the
Yeah,
camp?
And it was
yeah.
Palantir. It was Palantir who did that.
Got it, yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So
All right, good. So we are all on time. Everybody is able to manage the time, do things. We are all improving, and performance is getting better and better. Monday is Rajesh, your day. You have enough time
Yeah.
though. Neil has lesser time, but he's more relaxed. Neil, why don't you turn your camera the other way around and see that if your uh, picture comes a little bigger? We tried to do it with others on the phone also. The way you also try and turn it around. Rotate your phone. No. See? Now we can see the way full. Same way. Neil, can you also do that?
Yeah. Yeah. I can see myself full.
No, but you are okay. I'll share your screen.
I think because we have to rotate the mobile.
You are
Here
in
we
a
have to
portrait
rotate it.
format now. What she's saying is like a landscape. Yeah, this.
Landscape.
Yeah. Now
Okay.
look at yourself. Yeah.
Now you are
Okay.
perfect.
Right.
So be on landscape
Say
when you are
you
on
look
camera.
more hand. She's saying you look more handsome this way.
Yeah, I want all my students, all of us together should be on the screen visibly fully.
Okay.
Yeah, I always insist on that. Correct. All right. Then we'll leave for the day. Let's catch up tomorrow morning, 5:45. Neil, I didn't see you today morning, right?
Honestly, I get very much tired. I can't wake up. My
Slow.
sleep is not getting complete.
Uh-huh.
That's
Chalo,
why I
we are
don't join those sessions.
all right. Fine. There's no force, but I just thought of checking because I see you sometimes at 5:45, but you join a little late, but that's okay. So we are doing affirmations, we are doing mindful meditation, and we are doing visualization meditation. Okay. Uh, so all right then, all of us, let's catch up tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kalyan. It was great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So looking
Thank
forward to Neil tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good night.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
all.